let's get stuck into Portugal against Morocco. What a day for African football this was. What a day in World Cup history this has been. I never predicted this. I don't think many people did. Maybe Nigel reo-coker did. Whoa. But Michael Hood, I'm coming to you first, because for me personally, this was something incredibly special from Morocco. They got the job done, and in many ways, they made it look pretty easy.
Oh, man, I was nervy moments till the final whistle. I thought outstanding goalkeeping. Banu. Who knew? Banu did. I mean, just from the onset, the 4th minute, diving header from João Felix. He stuns him. And it was a João Felix and the Portuguese attack versus Banu and this backline, the stingy backline for Morocco. They keep doing it defense first. But man, oh man, Wanahi, this guy, he was my man of the match. His ability to cover ground, not just flank the midfield alongside Amrabat, another outstanding performance for him. Fiorentina, man, I expect him to get a big move after this World Cup because he is a leader. He is the heart and soul of this Morocco team, who is also playing with some starters out. Romain Saiss out now with potential hamstring injury that was plaguing him in the previous game against France. But this is a group that is together. It's a band of brothers, a band of warriors on the field. They're willing to do whatever it takes for 90-plus minutes, even penalty kicks, to get the result. They need just one goal. And En-Nesyri, oh, man. That guy, can we check his vert? I mean, that he looked like Ronaldo of old, jumping up. Bad goalkeeping from the goalkeeper, though, from Portugal, but he punishes him with an outstanding header.
Mike, just before you jump in, Nigel, I just got to say it. You just say they look like an army here. It's an army and their mothers. I don't know if you've noticed it, but every single celebratory picture that I've seen since is absolutely remarkable. This is not just these human beings. This is their families and their friends all getting in the mix here. Nigel, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Ian, I've been fortunate. Like I said, one of my good friends, like a brother to me, is Moroccan, and I go around their family, so I understand the Moroccan culture. So that army there you see is an army, and there is great togetherness and unity. Watching this Morocco team, for me, takes me back to my childhood of watching the World Cup. They have a basic foundation. The foundation of football never changes. And I say that in the sense of positioning defensively, what's expected of you attacking-wise. But this Morocco side play with such freedom. It's such a breath of fresh air. And what makes them so difficult to play against is they're not so structured and robotic in their playing sense as every nation seems to have become now. There's such a freedom and unpredictability about them, which makes them so difficult to play against. They deserve all the plaudits. Michael's already spoken about some talented players that they have. I'm not going to go in there again. I think for me, when you look at Portugal, there's always going to be that discussion, oh, if Ronaldo had started, Portugal would have won. I say completely not. I think Portugal are a better side without Ronaldo starting. Not because there's anything wrong with Ronaldo, but he's not the Ronaldo of old. The one chance that Ronaldo did have, the old Ronaldo, a couple of years back, would have put that into the back of the net late on in the game. I think for me, one of the big players that Portugal should have started, who made a difference when he come on, who I think if they give him the ball and give him that freedom, Rafael Leao, a guy obviously people could see by watching CBS Sports and Champions League here and listening to our pod. He is the talent and one of the future players of this Portuguese side. He is the difference maker to be able to break back lines down and make something happen for them. So I think for me, what Morocco did is fantastic, and it's bigger than just Morocco. It really should be an inspiration for the continent of Africa, because there's tremendous amount of talented nations there. And if they put their house in order and do things the right way and the proper way, this could be so competitive in every World Cup.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think, this Moroccan side, it's a fantastic blend of different types of profile of player, but also something that's really interesting about them as well is they're kind of the product now of three different managers in recent years. They had Hervé Renard, they had Vahid Halilhodžić, and now they've got Regragui as well. So, that's three different guys who come at it with a bit of a different approach. And, between the three of them, they've managed to create this environment now where Morocco are able to put a very, very talented 11 on the pitch, but they're also a very united one, as well. I think they needed, somebody who could, take away from the sort of combative atmosphere around the squad when Halilhodžić was there. It was perhaps a bit too explosive, but you have to give Halilhodžić and Hervé Renard credit for sort of laying the foundations, doing a lot of the work in getting these players to pick, playing for Morocco over holding out hope for playing for a country like France or another different nation. And, I think that has, created this very, very interesting mix of players. And it goes back to the conversation we had earlier about France. Morocco is kind of a little bit similar to that. You know, there's a huge amount of the Moroccan population celebrating tonight before the France game. And they're celebrating even more outside at the moment now that they know they're coming up against France. That is going to be a really, fantastic game. You had Boufal, as soon as he came off the pitch, the first thing he said was, really, really want to wish France good luck for tonight, because that's who they wanted to come up against, to measure themselves against. I think that speaks as well, to what, Morocco have been doing these last couple of years. I think they've been looking at countries like France thinking, right, how do we refine, this talent that we have? Because I don't think anyone's really doubted Morocco individually in terms of their talent in years gone by, but it was a question of getting that mentality, getting that chemistry right. And they finally, seem to have hit the right kind of balance. It's just a shame, as the guys were saying earlier, that you're now looking at potentially 3 key injuries. Saiss, going off in this game. There was no Mazraoui. Aguerd as well was out injured. Hopefully some of those players can return in time for the game. And fun fact as well, Unahi, everyone's raving about him, was playing in France's semi-professional third tier back in the summer of 2021.
I absolutely love that, JJ.
That was
Love that.
That was amazing. I just want to say quickly, just to add to what JJ said there, I think we have to understand what Morocco are doing is going to be so inspirational to future generations of young Moroccan players. And I think what it's going to do is, again, to the earlier conversations, Ian, when they see this, they're not going to have that worn head of, should I play for France or should I play for Morocco? They're going to be more comfortable now to play for Morocco if the Moroccan Football Federation keep doing what they're doing. But what they're doing now is going to be so inspirational to future generations that it's only going to get better and better, because they produce naturally gifted football players and they can be a real force in world football for a long time to come.
Yeah, that's the power of the beautiful game. When you have a situation like this, it's inspirational for many of the young boys and girls who are growing up and going to have to make a decision as to who they represent when they do become these professional superstars along the way. A couple of statistics to throw at you before we move on to Portugal. Yassine Bounou, who made his 50th appearance for Morocco tonight, is the first African goalkeeper to record 3 clean sheets in a single edition of the World Cup. Morocco are the first African nation in the tournament's 92-year history to reach a World Cup semi-final, and only 3 teams out of Europe and South America have qualified for the semi-final of the World Cup. That was the United States back in 1930. Had to throw that one in there. South Korea in 2002, and Morocco just doing it in 2002. A stat that not many people want to hear. Cristiano Ronaldo has failed to score in 8 of his knockout stage appearances at the World Cup, including third-place playoff game, going 570 minutes without scoring and taking 27 shots in the process. Let's get into it. Was it the right decision or the wrong decision, Michael Lahoud, to leave Cristiano Ronaldo out on the bench? Nigel says yes, because they're a better team without him. But what's your thoughts?
I think it was the right decision. I think you could see a glimpse of the quality that he still has. The run he makes at the very end, outstanding. Same for Bounou. This difference in this game, as I said in the England-France game, sometimes having an outstanding goalkeeper, it's almost like Bounou had an extra 2 arms flanking him with the saves he made. That early goal that Portugal was pouring a pressure in front of the Moroccan goal. When you score 6 goals in your previous match, you're going to have that swagger about you. You're going to look for that knockout blow early. This was always going to be a 1-goal game, whether it's 2-1 or 1-0 against a stingy Moroccan back line. And Portugal, you could see it was a ticking time bomb. As soon as Bounou grew in confidence, the rest of this Moroccan team did. I think that I still stand by Fernando Santos for making Ronaldo come off the bench, because Ronaldo is not a team player. And Portugal, they will be ruining the missed chances they had, not because Ronaldo didn't start, because they didn't execute.